النصر المبين ونعيد الحق إن عبد رب العالمين.
Cancel culture is a useful tool in deplatforming and silencing those who have committed wrongs in the past or those who further hate speech. Is there space for cancel culture in Islam?
I think what happens with cancel culture is that it emboldens those who are being cancelled, because it shows that you do not have, at least that's the message that is sent to them, you don't have the tools to respond to what they're saying. I'm excluding from this people who are just vitriolic and they have nothing to say, and you're just, as a society, are deciding we don't want you around. But if somebody is coming up with, they had some mistakes in the past, to bring that up, especially if they're not transgressive mistakes, in the sense that they did not harm other people, and to use that to judge them today, the person that they are today, that is utterly un-Islamic. It erases the idea of tawbah completely from the tradition. So no, there's no space for that. على الثلاثة الذين خلفوا in Surah At-Tawbah, 3 of the companions backed out from a ghazwa, from a battle. The Prophet ﷺ is going and they just stayed back. They were concerned about their wealth, and so, but they came, and he ﷺ asked the people who stayed back. The hypocrites came up with all kinds of excuses, and he ﷺ said, all right, fine, whatever. But then these 3, they had no excuse, and they said, they came and they just faced up to it. Said, we made an error, this is what we did. And he ﷺ said, you are basically excluded from the community. Nobody even gives you salam until Allah gives His ruling on you. Allah. This is such a beautiful story, because the name escapes me. The names of these companions escape me, and they shouldn't. But one of them was sitting on his rooftop, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends down these verses that He's given tawbah to these 3. And one of the companions comes through running to him, and he says to him, you're free. And he said, I've never forgotten it for him. Of all the companions, he's the one who came and hugged me the first. We don't have cancel culture in Islam because somebody did something wrong in the past. And this idea is completely foreign to our tradition, in deeply problematic ways, because it says there's no rahmah. And وَمَنْ لَا يَرْحَمْ لَا يُرْحَمْ, whoever does not show rahmah, mercy to people, that person is not going to get mercy. So as a community, we have to actually combat that somebody did something in the wrong, and Allah had sitr. That's another thing. If Allah gave that person sitr, they covered them up, and then you come up and you expose them to the world, and you say this is what and then you frame it in your particular way, and then you say this person has to be deleted, erased, completely excluded. For something that when you look into it, it's like, did they do something Islamically problematic even? Or is it just some Western social construct thing that they just aesthetically was not becoming, because I don't know what this is. And then they're being cancelled. Man, Yawm al-Qiyamah is going to be a very interesting day, because there's going to come a people who are going to be begging for forgiveness, and probably what they're going to be asked is like, well, what'd you do with your Twitter account and your Facebook posts about that individual that you just kept going and haranguing and beating up and doing all that just to get them excluded from the community? There are people that make careers now out of this, who just go after Muslims. So if you want to go cancelling people, you're going to have some questions to answer on Yawm al-Qiyamah about your own conduct, because nobody is free from fault, nobody is free from blemishes, and Allah is closer to you than your jugular vein. So He knows what's up with you. So when you point the finger at one person, remember you got 3 others coming back at you. Wallahu a'lam.